Hey guys, it's Joy here, and today's video is going to be a first semester recap of my first freshman semester at the University of Southern California. So I'm going to be telling you 10 things that I learned my first semester of college starting now. So the first thing I learned is that as a journalism major, I will be doing a lot of writing. So that seems pretty obvious, but when you are in a major that's not math-based or science-based, the only time you're going to be taking a math or science class is your general education courses. And I'm in a program at USC called Thematic Option, which basically turns those courses into literature-based courses. So if we have a science class, then we might be reading science literature about ethics of science and things like that. I do have to take one hard science class and one hard math class, but I have yet to do that. So this semester was all paper writing. I barely had any tests. Only tests I had in class were in Spanish. All of my other assignments were papers. So the second thing I learned at USC during my first semester is that your school offers so many free events, and if you don't take advantage of them, you're crazy. So I went to a bunch of different things this semester. As you've seen in my vlogs, I went to movie screenings. I saw Lupita Nyong'o. I met Tavis Smiley, the journalist. I just met so many people and got to see so many things. And next semester, I'm going to continue to participate in those events because sometimes they're only open to university housing residents. Sometimes they're only open to people in particular majors. So while I have as many free events as possible as a freshman, I want to continue to take advantage of those. And it just gets you out of your room during your free time. It helps you better to schedule your time if you know you have an event you want to go to. And it also just helps you meet new people and get around your city or your college town. The third thing I learned is that joining one club will automatically expand your social group, and ultimately you can make some friends from that social group. So making friends in college is harder because sometimes if you're in a club, you only see them once a week, maybe once a month. So that's why I use the word social group, because these are people you'll see around campus, you can say hi to, and eventually you can form friendships with the people that you really like. So if you're feeling like you didn't make enough friends first semester, I suggest joining one club and actually talking to the people. Some clubs is just the e-board talking or a guest talking, so you don't really get to interact with the other people in the club. But I suggest you make yourself go out and talk to some new people. So the fourth thing I learned at USC is getting to know the people you live around will make your experience 10 times better. So if you aren't up to joining a club or you're in clubs and you've already met some people, make sure you know the people you live around, like the people who live across the hall from you, if you have a roommate, things like that. So getting to know them and forming a friendship with them will really help your experience, because that's where you're going to at the end of the day, and having some people to talk to about your day is really fun. And then you'll have some really good friends that you can always ask, do you want to go out? Instead of having to text people, you can see people face to face at the end of every day. The fifth thing I learned is that I don't just go to USC. I live in Los Angeles, and that is something that as a freshman, if you're going to a new city, you might not get to go out as much as you'd like to because it's a new city, you're getting used to things. So all of your friends are learning at the same time if they're not from there. But that's also a good thing. So sometimes you want to go and experience the city or town you're in. So sometimes me and my friends go to the beach or we go shopping when we want to spend a little bit extra money because we don't have cars, so we have to Uber places. So there's pros and cons to going out, but experiencing the city you're in is great. So at the end of 4 years, you can say that you not only went to the school, but you also lived and you know the city you're in. The number 6 thing I learned is that time management is so important in college, because you have your classes, then you have huge blocks of free time. So you have to make sure you're doing work or going to a club or being productive or taking a nap. So have a balance of when you hang out with your friends, you take naps, you do your work, just so you don't get overwhelmed at the end of the week if you have a lot of work due. And the number 7 thing that I learned is that the only thing important than time management is money management. So if you're not getting an income or you're on an allowance from your parents, you want to make sure that you're managing your money, because if you only have a set amount of money for this semester and you're not getting any other income, you might run out really fast. So try to get a part-time job, start up your own business, or find some way to get some income so you're not just depending on your base amount that your parents might give you or that you might have saved up for spending money for college. The next thing, which is number 8, is that it gets cold in LA. I was wishing I had a heater and a heated blanket the last couple of weeks because it got pretty chilly. Well, I'm from Pennsylvania, so not snow cold, but cold is relative. So if we're experiencing 70s and 80s and then all of a sudden it's 40s, we're gonna feel cold in LA. So don't beat me up on that I'm saying LA's cold. It did get cold and I was wearing jackets and scarves. Number 9 is that I really, really, really love nachos. So I knew this before I left for college, but LA has really good Mexican food if you didn't know that. So there's a place down the street that I love to go to with my friends, and I'm really just on the search for the best nachos in LA. If you have any suggestions, please give them to me because I am obsessed with nachos. They are so good, and I really want some right now. They're what I've been craving since I got back home to the East Coast. And the last thing I learned in my first semester of college is that I couldn't have made a better college choice. I am obsessed with USC. I'm so glad I get to spend the rest of my college career here. I am very happy. I'm not going to class in the snow like my friends. I'm not struggling too much. The balance is good. The professors know my name. We have conversations. When I turned in my final, my Spanish professor gave me a hug. So it's all about you when you're choosing your college. So make sure you can really be happy where you're going and not what your family says, just where you think you can be happy, because ultimately you're the one who's going to have to take classes there. You're the one who's going to have to spend 4 or more years there. So make sure the choice you're making is right for you. So those are the 10 things I learned during my first semester of college. If you were a freshman this year, leave me a couple of things that you learned this semester, if anything I said was relatable. If you're not in college yet, let me know down below if you are still waiting for your college acceptances or if you received any yet. So I'll be looking forward to reading and responding to your comments. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe if you haven't already. So I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.